G'day everybody, and welcome back for some more Stationeers. I'll admit, after playing this for the last few weeks, I really wanted to play more after the last stream. I only stopped because I was getting really hungry. I probably could have kept playing that whole day. I get in this kind of funny phase sometimes with games where I'm just like, I just want to play more, I just want to play more. But I know if I play too much of it off stream, I'll kind of burn through that. So I was itching to get back to this, but I've started a bit later today because Moosey and I were having a chat about his edits for the new series that's coming to my main channel, which is coming very soon. We were just finalizing a few last details of the intro and all this sort of stuff, and I'm really excited by that. But we wanted to make sure we did everything properly. So we were chatting and we kind of got a bit carried away. So I've actually been up for the last 2 and a bit hours, but didn't get to start as soon as I would have normally, because we were talking about that, which I felt was a worthy expense of the time. But yeah, I was really itching to come back. I have mined a whole lot of materials to make sure that I won't spend most of this stream mining like I did the last one. Whoa! Yeah. Wasn't expecting that to happen. Put you back in the corner. Good. And yeah, so to begin with, thank you so much, Mavelite, for the 10 gift subs. Thank you very much. And also a thank you to Crimson Row for the Prime sub while I was offline. Yeah, but this update is to Stationeers has just made it feel much better. It just runs so much more smoothly. So, with my advanced furnace that I built last time, there's an issue with this tank. So, the way I've set things up, we've got our waste gas coming out of the furnace, going into the big tank, and going into these 3 filtering systems. At the moment, the filtering system takes out all of the X, so all the pollutant gets taken out, and the CO2 gets taken out. What's left in the tank, though, is predominantly nitrogen, fortunately, but depending on if I mess up at the furnace side of things, there's a moderate amount of hydrogen and oxygen. And it's possible, if I mess up, that I could be putting a fairly high concentration of hydrogen and oxygen into this tank at very high temperatures, causing it to combust in the tank, which is a bad thing, because blammo. Which means I probably do need to set up the thing that I talked about last time of having the hydrogen and oxygen getting taken back out and run back around and fed back into the original system. Now, I was mentioning that I'd done some mining. This is how much mining I've done. I also obviously built more lockers because I needed somewhere to put it all. Each of these 4 mining belts is full of iron. That's all the copper I've managed to mine. That's the gold, silver, cobalt, lead, nickel, coal, silicon. We've still got our stellite that we made at the end of last stream. So it's going pretty well. I think we should have enough materials to mess around with quite a bit of building today, is my hope. Also, thanks so much, Moosey. Yes, Red Steve standing by. So yeah, I think the first thing I should do is set up the system for preventing the auto ignition in this tank. That is theoretically possible, even though unlikely. So what I'm thinking is setting up something to take the nitrogen, oxygen, and hydrogen out. So that'll mean 2 more filters. Because I already have a nitrogen tank over here, which has actually got very little in it. I don't accumulate much nitrogen from the oxide. I do, however, have quite a bit of oxygen, so I'm probably going to need to increase my storage capacity of oxygen over here. Whether I do that by moving this mixer closer to the furnace, which I think I will do, I'll probably do that and then also put maybe an oxygen and volatiles tank up. Okay, Barnaby, so it's only 5%. So I was actually pretty lucky to get away with the not exploding here because I'm at 2%. So what my thought was is when I do some furnacing, I'll have the furnacing. I love that I've turned that into a verb. When I use the furnace, I'll have the hydrogen and oxygen pumps working at the beginning. So that's the first gas that's taken out. And then once they're pretty low, then I'll turn on the other pumps to get rid of the other gases. Because that should prevent me reaching the critical percentage and risk blammo. Although I'm sure there are a few people who wish I wasn't told about that because it would have been funny. And I might be slightly one of those people. I'm glad I was told, but I also think it would have been amusing if I weren't. Yeah, see. Kay Bramman just said the same thing. I wasn't sure if I should tell you that last time. I'm just going to take the silicon inside. It doesn't need to stay out here. At least for the moment. So yeah, my plans are finish off my advanced furnace today and then start designing the new greenhouse area, which will be over that side, made out of steel and composites and pretty and stuff, and start making a bit more of a base rather than my interplanetary hovel. Yeah, Mavlight, that could be a Capac trap at some point. Tricking him into... Well, if he doesn't think about that sort of thing and I try and tell him that we got to do gas capture. Oh no, it's atmospherics I want. 2 more. Oh, Urgh. The thing I didn't come in with. Oh, no, too slow. Yeah, Dradon, I think I need to go back to the old thing of exploding stuff at the end of these streams like I did in the co-op ones with Capac. So maybe what we can do at the end of this stream is see what does happen with the explosion. So, because I've got this set up the way I do, I should be able to pump fuel mix straight into here, then ignite some in here, get the gases hot, and then send the hot gases in and see what happens. So, yeah, remind me of that at the end, because I'm keen. Do I just use the arc furnace? I think I will. Iron's pretty quick to process. Get some of that done. So I'm thinking, this is steel we're on here, so I was going to continue the steel out that way a bit. Or do I want to go this way? No, I think this way. So I was thinking of continuing out this way a bit, having some more room behind those lockers, maybe that could be the production area, then continuing a bit further and having a greenhouse maybe even on top. Yeah, maybe I'll do a second story greenhouse. And building a new solar thing up above this. So we've got the furnace facility, which will be separated from the rest of it. And then try and make a space where I could actually open my helmet. Because I don't think I've ever really done that properly. Or at least not for any extended period of time. Mining with the heavy drill to collect all this material was so much better. I also want to expand my night sensing light setup, because having some more non-suit lights around here would be great. I'd like to not have to keep my suit lights on all the time when I'm back at base. also may have enough materials to do a few things like portable light in your uniform method. I forgot about that. Does that even still work? Huh. I completely forgot that was a thing. Yeah, I totally forgot that carrying the portable light on you. Did we not get given a portable light anymore? So I don't remember bringing one across. Or were we not given a portable light and I made it? I must have made it. Oh, I think my mouse sensitivity's up a bit. Yeah, that's better. Portable lights work in belt too. I think I only needed 2 more because I was going... I've got one that's not hooked up, then it'll be nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen. Yeah. Alright, so we need insulated pipe. Oh, that's silver, not steel. How much steel have you got? 193 grams. Alright, let's get your steel. And all of the insulated pipe. Oh yeah, I should try and make the bigger belt today too. Oh, that's really what I want to do. I want to make the hard suit. I want to make the better suit. Because the better backpack and the fact that you don't get damaged as easily when you're mining, stuff like that, it's really useful. I won't worry too much about the portable light in my suit because I know it did cause some glitchy shadows and things. Yeah, the hard suit requiring all the special metals is why I think I'm ready to do it. Like once I've got this furnace set up to capture all the off gas that I want to capture, there's no real reason for me not to make some of the fancier metals that I need to make the fancier stuff. I suspect I might be better off building my new production facility and moving these units outside before I do that. And having a few lockers in the production facility room so that I can keep materials in the lockers instead of keeping them in the machines. At least until I take the time to learn how how the chutes work to get stuff that you need to certain machines. So I've never actually gotten even close to doing that stuff. I've always had the stuff stored in the machines. But if I can make a few of the special materials, make some bigger batteries, have a battery room, have a base that's actually starting to be a real base rather than what I've got here, which is all just a bit of a shambles. I think the furnace is set up with enough room that it's should function well for what it's designed to do. And yeah, straight on a light in the center of my workstations, lights around the furnace, that sort of stuff. But I want to design the roof for the furnace area before I start fiddling with the lights for it, because then I'll know where the walls are going to be and have a bit of a better idea about where it's going to work nicest. Oh yeah, absolutely. When I rebuild these outside, I'll have the stackers working as well, so that I don't end up with clang explosions from pipes. Also, the stacker wouldn't change whether I'm camping this out. I'm camping this out because I want the pipes, because I need them to build the thing that I'm about to build. The stacker would mean I'd just be waiting here watching a number go up instead of picking up pipes. The issue is that I've got this airlock to go through, so I really need to get the machines outside the airlock. That's going to be the biggest production efficiency improver, I think. I just try and wait for enough stuff to make it worthwhile going through the airlock again. And with the new... Actually, opinions on this. I was thinking of having the production facility and the furnace in a shared space. So there's only... Maybe I'll put a door between them, but I won't put a proper airlock between them. Because I'm thinking... You often want to go between those two. And especially for me, I often forget what else I need and want to go between the two. So... It seems to make sense that they'd be in the same space. I can't think of any big issues for that. Have living and greenhouse shared, and then have production and furnace shared. Yeah, Barnaby, the KPA on the airlock is set at 20, but I've got more gas I can shove in here as well. All right, 60 will do for now. Which I'm debating whether or not to do. Oh, that's right. So I think it was in the last stream, I decided not to open my waste tank, and I was wise to do that because I checked my waste tank and it did contain hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen and pollutant. I can't remember how it got in there, but yeah, it got in there. I'm gonna turn this one into oxygen, and then I'll turn this one into nitrogen. Oh, not nitrogen. Is that the same gap? No, it'll be there. And then I was going to put the third one out here. The extra one out here. But maybe I could put another one here. It's otherwise wasted space. Let's not waste space. Let's put it here. Yeah. All right, where are my spray cans? So we'll go... let's go volatiles. Oxygen's white, isn't it? Which I think these already are. Yep. Oxygen white, and what have I done? Nitrogen in black, because it is black for some reason. And nitrogen could be that one. Okay. Pink, white, and black. Yeah, I don't know why nitrogen's black on the filter. I feel like I guess they chose... I think I do know why nitrogen is black on the filter. I think it's because nitrous, that gas mix, I think is actually done in green. Like, I think real world wise is done in green, isn't it? Yeah. I think that's why. Like, I think these may be real world gas colors. Oh, nuts. Let's go off this one then. Just realized with where I've got those junctions, I could move the cable junctions, but I think it makes more sense if I bring the volatiles down here and then come across. Oh, dang it. You're a dope, Splitsy. Ooh, or are you? I'm just thinking, do I bring oxygen and nitrogen back to this pipe? Since this pipe is already oxygen and nitrogen, and this is already set up to filter, because then I could put an oxygen and nitrogen filter and only need one less of the filters here. That doesn't really make sense. That's double filtering. Let's not do that. Ooh. I just realized... I'm gonna need to put radiators on. I'm gonna need to radiate off the heat really rapidly in this gas line. Because if I don't, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put hot fuel in here, hot oxygen in here, and then when I send it through to here, it's gonna ignite. Let's test to be sure. Ah, nuts. All right, that's okay. I was planning on putting a few radiators along here, and because this pollutant network stretches all across a few cubes, I should be able to put, like, radiator here, radiator here, radiator here, radiator here, radiator here, etc. all the way around, and that will hopefully bleed off the heat fairly quickly. We'll see. Because otherwise I'm going to have to use cooling towers. Which feels like it's a lot of extra beyond what I should be doing at this stage. Yeah, Dencon, I know there's the hot gas furnace style setup so that you, instead of having a furnace with fuel that gets ignited, you have a furnace that's just a mix of non-volatile hot gases. I just have never set one of those up before, and I kind of like messing around with this for now. I may switch to that sort of setup in the future. But I was kind of... I didn't feel like I was ready for that. Which may just be me being silly. Get a little bridge. There we go. Now, what am I going to do with the nitrogen? Where should I bring it through?
Filter low.
As I can bring it back across here and just bridge over there. That'll work. Yeah, I like that in Stationeers you do get that feeling of when you build something like this, you get that whole, okay, this is a refinery with a whole bunch of stuff going a whole bunch of places, and I don't know where any of these pipes go unless I actually look closely. Yep, making piping spaghetti. I think I have to do that. Actually, no. There's just enough room for this. I think. No, don't break the thing. Alright, that just goes back to the brown one, doesn't it? So that goes... So that'll go back up to the brown thing. That'll go back up to the brown thing. But it can go that way. So yeah, this'll work. That's going to be inconvenient, though. So it's kind of in front of the ports. Don't like that. I think I'll move the off-gas pipe a bit so that I can do this. Or I just go up and around. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, there we go. I think that makes sense. Whew. FYI, the manual valve item
Filter
also
low.
contains a one-way valve if you mouse up. I don't think I need a one-way valve for this because all of these act as one-way valves. I think one option I would have would be to have like cooling towers come off these spurs and then put a controlled volume pump in here, and so on this one and on this one, so that once the pre-gas has cooled enough, I can then pump it into the system. Because I think I'd... Or even just a manual valve I could put in there, actually. Maybe I'll do that. Let's get the off-gas pipes done, though. Oh, poop. Oh, whoops. Need more pipe. Oh, wow. I really used a lot of pipe for this. Because I now still need enough to come back from both of those. Do you know what it is game-wise that allows things in Stationeers to be placed compactly like that, and if that would be possible for Space Engineers? Do you mean like the fact that there's multiple small blocks per large block? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which is actually not quite the same as Space Engineers. Very close. Stationeers doesn't move stuff the way that Space Engineers does. So they're doing different things, and some of the stuff that Stationeers does would be very difficult to achieve in something that's as capable of having mechanical interactions as Space Engineers is, at the scale that Space Engineers does. So it's kind of a... To me, it seems to be a matter of scale. Stationeers is much more about making all of the things at a fairly low level, which is quite fun for me. And then Space Engineers is about making stuff that you can fly around in, drive around in, and do fun stuff with that way. And that's also fun for me. Actually, let's turn you on. You on. Make some things. Let's make some cable, because I'm probably going to need some. Your fuel input lines. It's a good use for the heat exchanger to keep the inputs at a similar temp. Ah, okay. I might make one of them. I also need to make some radiators, so we'll do that too. That should probably be enough. Get radiator. Because I would like the off gases to lose temp a bit quicker, I think. They weren't too bad, like they've come down to a reasonable temperature over a couple of days, but a couple of days is a bit slow. We'll see how much faster this makes it. Would I like to see Space Engineers updated to have this level of detail? No, I don't think so. I'd like to have Stationeers have Space Engineers level of customizable vehicle, but a vehicle that's built to work within the scale that Stationeers works in. I think building a whole mothership where you have to cable the whole thing would be all kinds of horrible to do in Space Engineers. It's just like thinking about scale in terms of gameplay. I need a nitrogen filter. I need 2 of those. Oh, I don't doubt for a second some people would be into building something at that scale with this level of complexity. I also know that I would be one of them. But I also don't think it would be a very popular way to play that game. And I think even I would get tired of it at those sorts of scales and be like, I'm going to go play some Space Engineers that's a bit more simple for a bit, because I'd get a bit over it. Yeah, Onca Vegetariana. That's kind of how I feel about it. This and Space Engineers have some shared interests, but they also have very different approaches to survival and very different approaches to what's the interesting part. The interesting part in Stationeers is the survival and building up and all that sort of stuff. Space Engineers is something different. That's why I'm very happily playing both at the moment. Where's this heat exchanger? Is that what it's called? Heat exchanger? Pipe heater. Kit heat exchanger. There it is. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's the problem with Starbase. Starbase seems to have some interesting ship design elements, but zero PvE. And as soon as I found that out, I lost all interest. Because I don't have the time or the inclination to play a PvP only game. But yeah, that's just because I'm not a PvP person. I know some people are, and that's fine. Each to their own. Alrighty, make sure I don't mess these up. Okay, filters set. Let's finish off the outlet pipes. There we go. Now, kit heat exchanger. What do these look like? Oh, geez. That's enormous. Okay, it looks like I'm redoing my piping to account for the size of that thing. I was not expecting it to be that big. So that's in on the left and out on the right. Ooh. Do you guys... Does this have a valve in it? No, so the heat, so the temperature of the gas going into it will be the same as the temperature of the gas coming out of it. Okay. So that's what I was worried about. I can see which way the pipes go. I'm aware. I'm thinking this is how I want it. Just do a T-junction for the input-output. Oh, yeah, I can see what you're thinking there. I think I want to kind of put it back here, though. Because I wanted to move the pipes around here anyway. Like, I wanted to move this stuff around. Because the fuel pipes were getting a bit too large. Also, about the pressure in these pipes, it's actually really not bad at all. That's why I wasn't worried and didn't bother checking, because I remembered that I didn't have much fuel in them. I remembered things. And then that. Okay. Pipe input. What? Why does it say input, pipe input? Output to output. I'm guessing... Oh, I'm going to need to pick that up again just to make sure. So left and left, right and right. Yep. Okay, I'm going to need more pipes. There's no way I have enough. Oh, but I didn't want to put it directly on top of the pipes because I kind of wanted it to look neat and supported. It's amazing how much less power you require when you don't have a capac around. Yeah, it's so true. I don't think you ever have enough pipes and... cables. Oops. I should have harvested those tomatoes. Oh, I'll wait for this one to... Oh, there we go. 2 tomato seeds. It's growing food faster than I need food, which is unfortunate. But fortunate, I guess. I'm going to build a proper hydroponics setup anyway, but I'm not going to need to. But I don't know how you'd make it so that you eventually needed to have a proper hydroponics. Without making it so that there was a time limit to how long you can play and figure this stuff out. You could try the food rebalance mod. I don't want to try any mods while I'm running the beta update. Yeah, I guess the nice thing about me having played this solo with this update is when the update's ready for multiplayer, I should have enough knowledge of the game that I can start doing some stuff that'll make Capac's life miserable when I get to play with him. Hunger is super slow, but it can only gives 5%. Ah, so you don't need to take food around. You don't have to carry food with you. Because you'll have your food that you've stored on you will last for ages, but it takes a lot of growing to get stuff going. Okay, that's interesting. That's probably enough anyway for now. Let's go build this thing. Plants grow super slow and use loads of water too. I think this will work. Oops. Need to stop putting down the last bit of pipe. And then... Okay. Oh, why did I press C then? Bring the O2 round to here. There's a slight advantage to the stupid way I'm doing this, in that it gives me more gas volume in these pipes before I overload them. Because yes, I do realize that if I'd put this directly on top of the pipes, it would have been much more efficient piping-wise. I kind of like the messy pipes. I think you guys know that. Left to left, right to right. No interaction between the two, so the two shall not mix until here. Cute. Alright, I think that's good. Let's get the cables done. Oh yeah, I know the mixer's gonna have to be redone. That's all good. Okay. Input 2. So we need 2 times input to 1 times input 2. That's it. Input 2. Yep, we're all good. Cool. That's set. Let's get some power to the filters on the outside. That's done. Yeah. Yeah, it was weird. Last time I couldn't, the little input thing didn't pop up when I was looking at the input sides. So I had to pull the whole thing, I had to pull the piping up on each side so that I could check, but it's showing up this time, which is good. Because it's just nice being able to see those labels, given that they don't have actual printed labels on them. Because that would also be nice if it just said in text, input 1, input 2 on the piping, and then output. More light is coming, but I want walls and a roof to attach them to. So that probably means I want some steel. Frames, walls, and plates. Do they have... Yeah, they've got printed stuff on the models, so yeah, they could easily just put a 1 and a 2 onto that, and it'd be such a nice quality of life change. I should probably dismantle this because it's just in the way now. Angle grinder. Wait, this is my cupboard of stuff. This is my cupboard of shame. It's things I no longer use, but I'm just keeping anyway. Yes, there is a label printer you can use to label pipes, but what we're saying is it'd be nice if this model, as in for the gas mixer, said on its model what the pipes were, rather than you having to mouse over and try and find it. Oh, nice, Gabe Roman. Yes, do suggest it on the Discord. I'm not sure how high pressure that was before I released it then. Freaks me out every time I close one of these and all the items disappear. Because they're there when you open it, but they disappear when you close. I imagine that's just a bug that will probably get fixed at some point. Yeah, Barnaby, this is something I've noticed only in this patch. Only in the beta for the update. And it's been there every week. Alright, so fortunately all of the cabling going to all of this is on a single bit, so I can put a transformer in here later. Once I know where the walls and stuff are going to be. Just trying to think which way I'd like to enter. I'd kind of like the idea of this bit coming in from outside. And maybe the internal passageway coming in over here. Let's go make some flooring so I can cover up some of these pipes and make it a bit smoother around here, as I'd like to do that a bit. Just to get a bit of a feel for how it's going to look. Anna Lion, I think it's a bug that you can see the stuff disappear. I imagine it's intended to disappear after the doors are closed. Because they're there when you open the doors. So I think they've just got the timing wrong. Yeah, it's a tiny bug, but it's still a bug. Tiny bug is still a bug. Steal stuff. Do I want floor grating for in the furnace room, or do I want something different? Yeah, I think I'll go floor grating. We shall call it a gnat. On the floor. There we go. Yeah, I think I'll just like the composite floor grating for the furnace room. That'll do. Let's make some steel frames. Yes, everything is so dark because it's night. And lights are expensive to run. And I don't have any roof over the area that I'm... This is sort of a temporary base. The more final base is over that way, and I need to... I'm building the stuff to make a roof and floor. Walls. That sort of stuff. Oh, checkerboard floor. Might do more fancy floors for the living area and greenhouse. Now, do I have any reason to build walls around the furnace room versus using cubes? Yeah, the cubes will prevent some heat loss. I don't know what I want to do. Maybe I could leave it all open and just build some supports. For the living space that's above it. Just build some pillars. That could work. Pick a few spots for like 4 or 6 pillars to go, and then build on top of it. Which also prevents the overheating issue. My thought was to put a wall eventually to have the furnace effectively outside but have the controls inside, but I think that's a little beyond my... I think I'd like to do other things first before I tackle that. Actually, how much do I have? How much steel do I have? Ooh, do I dare leave that run for a while? What the heck, let's do it. So,
Jetpack on.
thinking I want supports over this. Let's go. And then I was thinking this. Wah! I was thinking this would be the floor level for the living and greenhouse. Which means I could put another pillar, say, 3 blocks apart, and then put another one 3 blocks apart down there. That sort of thing. Leave it all open. And let's grab these. Put them down while I remember, because I don't want to take them back inside again. Yeah, I think the grating's the way to go here, because then you can still see the cables and stuff. Make sure I'm confident about where pipes are going. Yeah. Oh, glad, Tincho. Oh, can we finally weld up the sloped frames? I don't know.